Welcome to the course Compiler Design. The first lecture, we are going to cover the introduction of the course Compiler Design, following with objectives, outcomes, then textbooks, then how to study, various tips to study, then glance of the syllabus, followed by introduction to compiler, then various applications, so etc. We are going to cover here. So then coming to course objectives, so mainly here, this course introduced the major concepts of language translation and compiler design and impart the knowledge of practical skills necessary for constructing a compiler. Various topics include in this course are phases of compiler, then parsing, syntax directed translation, type checking, then use of symbol tables, code optimization techniques, intermediate code generation, and data flow analysis. After completion of this course, so what you are able to achieve, it is called as outcome of that course, learning outcome of the course. So after successful completion of this course, you should be able to demonstrate the ability to design a compiler given a set of language features, demonstrate the knowledge of patterns, tokens, and regular expressions for lexical analysis, acquire skills in using Lex tool and Act tool for developing a scanner and parser, design and implement LL and LR parsers, design algorithms to do code optimization in order to improve the performance of a program in terms of space and time complexity, design algorithms to generate machine code. Here you can observe all the learning outcomes of this course compiler design based on 6 phases of compiler. So we have 6 phases of compiler in compiler design. So we'll study about all these 6 phases entire of this course. In formal language and automata theory, you completed recently that course. So in that you can recall once applications of finite automata or theory of computation. One of the application is used in compilers, compiler construction. In compiler construction, finite automaton is used for the first phase of compiler, that is lexical analysis, also called as scanner. Whereas context-free grammars concept is also used in compiler design for the second phase of compiler, which is called as syntax analysis or parser. So these 2 points we already mentioned while studying the course formal language and automata theory. So the prerequisite to continue this course is formal language and automata theory. The prerequisite that is essential. Then other prerequisite concepts related to computer architecture and organization. In that the concept of assembly language, then writing code in assembly language using mnemonics like move, add, sub, etc. So in the code generation phase, we'll use the same concept here. Then another concept, programming language and data structures. Here also, while designing a compiler, some algorithms may be developed. Some programming languages are used to demonstrate practically the concepts of compiler design. So we have the practical related course also, the lab related to this compiler design is compiler design lab. So whatever the 6 phases we are going to cover, same thing can be practically demonstrated using programming languages like C, C++, Java. You may use any programming language. So that's why we can achieve the following learning outcomes after successfully completing this course. So then coming to how to study, what are the tips to study this course? So first you have to make your own notes with your understanding and or So how to make your own notes? By listening, understanding, then asking questions and clarifying doubts, then with interruptions, with self-learning also. Then other tip is you have to study the prescribed textbooks. Then you have to adopt some flexible approach or engineering approach like trade-off or constraints optimization. Then assessment as per university regulations, we have to adhere to the assessment of internal. So then coming to various textbooks related to this course compiler design. So the main prescribed textbook as per the syllabus, Aho, Lam, Sethi, Pullman. This is our primary prescribed textbook which covers all the contents of this course. The title is Compilers, Principles, Techniques and Tools. This is the title. So current edition is second edition. So all of you purchase this book. This book is very much useful for your GATE preparation also. So more weightage is there related to compiler design for all India test for getting admission to do MTech in India in IITs, NITs, IIITs. So India level common entrance test is GATE, Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. Every year that is going to be conducted. For that, the course compiler design as well as formal language and automata theory having highest weightages. So as for our syllabus, you can take the second edition. The last right hand side last cover page is the second edition book. Then left hand side first one is the first edition book. Then there are some other books also, Engineering a Compiler by Cooper. Then other books also here I mentioned. Hunter, The Essence of Compiler, Grun, Modern Compiler for additional information. But this first book with second edition is enough to cover all the topics as per our syllabus. So then coming to the outline of syllabus, what we are going to cover. Just now I mentioned. Entire of this course, we will discuss about the 6 phases of compilers. So the first phase is all phases we can study in order. Like in formal language and automata theory also, we studied about Chomsky hierarchy of formal languages with 4 categories like type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3. But there we studied in the reverse order. That means computational power in increasing order. First we discuss type 3 with least computational power, then next highest computational power, that is type 2, then type 1, at last type 0. So which is highest computational power. So like that in compiler design also the phases are ordered, but here you can follow as per the phase 1 onwards. First you can study about phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and so on, phase 6. So the first phase is called as lexical analysis, also called as scanner or scanning. The second phase is called as syntax analysis, also called as parser or parsing. The third phase is called as semantic analysis. So here the concept syntax directed translation we are going to discuss. Then the fourth phase is called as intermediate code generation, simply called as intermediate representation. Then the fifth phase is called as code optimization, which is optional phase. So whenever that is required, that can be used. Then the last phase is called as code generation. So in addition to these 6 phases, here some prerequisite concepts. There is a runtime environment is going to be covered, so which is for organization of storage or storage allocation strategies using runtime environment, that is dynamic. So then code generation followed by code optimization. So this is the outline of the syllabus what we are going to cover here. Whatever the number mentioned, those are all unit names. First unit, first we'll discuss about introduction, followed by phases of compiler. Each phase briefly we will discuss with example. Then second part, in first unit we'll discuss about lexical analysis, also called as scanner or scanning. Second unit completely we'll discuss about syntax analysis, also called as parser. So syntax analysis again categorized into two types: top-down parser, bottom-up parser. So here a top-down parser, we have one problem, important question, that is predictive parser. Whereas bottom-up parser, we have LR parser. There are three types of LR parsers. That is simple LR, denoted as SLR, then canonical LR denoted as CLR, then look ahead LR denoted as LALR. So total predictive parser 1, then here 3. Total 4 problems are there. Out of 4 problems, definitely you will get 1 question, sometimes 2 questions also. In the entire of this compiler design course, we have only the problems on second unit only, syntax analysis. So remaining all some notation based graphical representation, like schematic representation based. So second unit we have to put more efforts. Why? Because 4 problems are there. Then third unit we'll discuss about semantic analysis, which is syntax directed translation, like a tree structure representation, then defining their definitions and translation schemes by using type checking. Then intermediate code generation. Here we will represent the code into intermediate form by using some notations like 3 address forms, like postfix notation, syntax tree, various notations are used. Then that is going to be covered in the third unit, second part. First part is semantic analysis. Then fourth unit, we'll discuss about runtime environment, that is related to storage organization. Various storage allocation strategies are going to be covered. Then second part, we will discuss about code optimization, followed by code optimization, some of the concepts. Then fifth unit, completely we have one type of code optimization, which is called as machine independent optimization is going to be covered. Whereas in fourth unit, machine dependent code optimization is also covered. So this is the outline of our course structure. So then move to introduction about compilers. First we will see some definitions. So here what is a compiler? Then there are other alternatives to the compilers, which is called as interpreter, followed by some other concepts. We will see one by one. So the term compile in general, what is meaning of the term compile? Which collects some materials into a list. Then volume. This is the general meaning of compile. Then what is a compiler? A compiler is a program or software that accepts as input a program text in a certain language and produces as output a program text in another language. So here we are writing a program in one source language which accepts input to a program text. Then it produces as output a program text in another language. Suppose you have written your program in C language, let us say, then it produces output in not in C language, other language, like it may be a machine level language or some assembly language, etc. So, but here during this translation, so the compiler should preserve the meaning of that text, meaning of the source or whatever we are taking. This definition is taken from one of the book Grun et al. Published in 2000, the first edition. So other definition as for a prescribed textbook AHO, a program that reads a program written in one language, which is called a source language, and translate it into an equivalent program in another language, which is called as target language. So this can be taken from AHO et al., the prescribed textbook. So this is the standard definition of a compiler. A program that reads a program written in one language. So whatever the input language, that language is called a source language, and translates it into an equivalent program in another language, which is called as target language. The two terms you have to remember. What is the source language? What is the target language? So this is the definition of compiler according to the two authors. Then what is an interpreter? So Interpreter is also a program which reads a source program and produces the results of the executing that source program. Here simply, it won't translate. The interpreter is not a translator, whereas compiler is a translator which converts one form of the program to other form, that is source language to target language. Whereas interpreter is not a translator, simply it reads a source program line by line and produces the results of that executing that source. So we deal with compilers, then many of these issues arise with interpreters. So then let us see diagrammatic representation of the role of compiler. Here you can see in this diagram. So here compiler which takes the input as the source program, then it converts or translates into other program which is called as target program. So see, in simple terms, we will call it as source program is the input, then output is the target program. But again, this is also a program, but that is not in the source language, that will be in the other language format. Let us see some of the examples of compiler as well as interpreter. C is typically a compiler, C language, that is everyone familiar with this. Then Lisp, which is list processing, is another programming language, is typically interpreted language. Whereas Java is both compiled and interpreted language. Java is compiled to bytecodes, which are then interpreted. Also, C++ to Intel Core 2 and so on, assembly language, then C++ to C, these are all translations. Then high performance Fortran to Fortran, which is a parallelizing compiler. Then C to C itself, that means any language to itself. So in the general sense, here are some others. What is a LaTeX? LaTeX is the text processing software which converts the text one form to other form. Then another one, Ghost View, which is a PostScript. So is a language for describing images, for tagging, etc. These are all some of the examples of compilers and interpreters. So then, how can you say a compiler is a good compiler, or how can you define a good compiler? So by seeing some qualities. So qualities of a good compiler. Here some of the qualities are given. If any compiler may satisfy few or all good qualities, then you can judge the compiler is a good compiler. So what qualities would you want in a compiler? So first one, generates correct code. That is first and foremost, very important one. Correct code, accurate code, without any missing information, without any hiding, with the proper syntaxes, proper declarations, proper implementations. Then generate fast code. Fast code means with effective, good, faster functions. If you can use, then execution so will be very fast. Then it saves time. It gives more accuracy. Then conforms to the specifications of the input language. So whatever the specifications of a language you have chosen, so conforms with the correct specifications. Then copes with essentially arbitrary input size variables. That means we have to take the limited size of the input as well as variables, etc. If you can take large size, then the program will be complicated. Then compilation time linearly proportional to size of source. Then good diagnostics whenever errors are occurred. So to handle the errors, various error handling mechanisms. Then consistent optimizations, consistency. So using the similar things, so whenever you are applying any optimization. Then work well with the debugger, whenever you have to do the debugging. So at the time of error cases. So with these qualities, you can say a compiler is good compiler. Then what are the principles of compilation? The compiler must preserve the meaning of the program being compiled. This point we already mentioned in the definition of compiler itself. So it improves the source code in some way. There are other issues depending on the setting of the language. So first, speed of the compiled code, then space, size of compiled code, then feedback, information provided to the user, then debugging transformations obscure the relationship source code versus target. Then compilation time efficiency, fast or slow compiler. So these are all the some of the principles of compiler. Then coming to some more concepts on compiler and interpreter. Here we will see the pictorial representations of both compiler and interpreter. Then the major differences between compiler and interpreter also. So the differences between compiler and interpreter is somewhat important question. Sometimes you will get. So the compilation or compiler, what we discussed, the translation of a program written in a source language into semantically equivalent program. Semantically means with meaningful, providing with type checking, exact type conversion. So semantically equivalent program written in a target language. Now you can see the pictorial representation of a compiler. So what are the other components involved in the process of compilation? First, we need source program. So what is source program? Normally a program written in a high level programming language. Then compiler which converts the source program into target program. So then during that compilation, any errors are occurred. So then it records the error messages. Then those error messages are handled by using the concept of error handling, various error recovery strategies. Then while producing target program, what the target program contains, what is its input, then what is its output. So the output is normally the equivalent program in machine code. So which consisting of relocatable object files. So this is the model of a compiler with all dependent components. Similarly for interpretation also. So interpretation or interpreter performing the operations implied by the source program. It won't convert one form of the program to other form. Simply it reads line by line, interpreter reads line by line, whereas compiler reads entire program at once. Whereas the interpreter line by line, it reads and produces the results of that particular source. So what interpreter contains, this model you can see, it contains source program as well as input. Here also it encounters error messages. So then whatever the source program line by line scanned by interpreter, then it produces what is its output. So it can't translate one form to other form. So that is a major difference between compiler and interpreter. Now while seeing the major differences between compiler and interpreter, here you can see compiler scans the entire high level language program at once. Just now we mentioned entire program at once, whereas interpreter translate one statement at a time, line by line. Whereas in compiler, the translation process carried out by the compiler is called as a compiler. The translation process carried out, whereas the translation process carried out by the interpreter is termed as interpreter. Then other difference in compiler, if program is error free, it compiles the program into machine language, which has to be executed by an interpreter. That is, object program executed is not carried out by the compiler. So that object program executed, that can be carried out by interpreter. Whereas in interpreter, if the program is error free, it executes the program and continues till the last statement. Why? Because line by line it continues. That is, the object program execution is carried out by the interpreter, whereas compiler won't carries the object execution, object program execution. Then other differences in the compiler, if the so it process the program statements in their physical input sequence, whereas in interpreter it process according to the logical flow of control through the program. Whereas in compiler it processes each statement exactly once, only one time. Whereas in interpreter sometimes maybe execute repeatedly. Then processing time is very less in compiler, whereas in interpreter processing time is more. Compilers are large in size and they occupy more memory comparing to interpreter, whereas interpreter are smaller than compilers. Then error identification is very difficult in compiler, whereas error identification is very easy in interpreter. Then the compilers is also called as software translator, whereas the interpreter is also called as software simulation. So one simple difference you can see, compiler is a software translator, whereas interpreter is a software simulation. Then let us see some examples of compilers are Fortran language, Pascal language, C language, C++, etc. Whereas interpreter examples are Lisp, list processing programming language, then Prolog programming logic programming, then Smalltalk, this is another programming language, etc. So these are the major differences between compiler and interpreter. Then there are some other applications of compiler design with respect to phase-wise compilers. So here you can see the general application is development of a compiler. The techniques used in compiler design can be applicable to many problems in computer science. So the techniques used in the first phase, lexical analyzer or scanner, can be used in text editors, information retrieval system, and pattern recognition programs. So the use of lexical analysis in these areas. Whereas the techniques used in parser, whatever the parsing techniques we are going to study, those can be used in query processing systems such as SQL, structured query language. The parser, also called as syntax analysis, which is the second phase of compiler. Whereas the lexical analysis, also called as scanner, which is the first phase of compiler. So now, many software having a complex front end may need techniques used in compiler design. A symbolic equation solver which takes an equation as input, that program should parse the given input equation. Most of the techniques used in compiler design can be used in natural language processing, which is one of the important area in deep learning, natural language processing. So which can also be used in artificial intelligence domain. So now in compiler design, we have one model, so which is called as analysis synthesis model of compilation. This is nothing but the 6 phases are grouped into 2 parts. The first part can be grouped with the combination of the first 3 phases, which is called as the analysis phase. Then latter part with the last 3 phases, which is called as synthesis phase. Now, what is the role of analysis phase means? Which determines the operations employed by the source program, which are recorded in a tree structure, hierarchical form. In analysis phase, an intermediate representation is created from the given source program. The given source program can be represented into intermediate representation using some tree structures. Whereas synthesis, so what is synthesis? Takes the tree structure, the above phase representation, intermediate representation, and translates the operations therein into the target program. That is the role of synthesis. In synthesis phase, the equivalent target program is created from this intermediate representation. So the phases related to synthesis phase are intermediate code generator, code optimizer. Whereas analysis phase, lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis. So this is also called as grouping of phases into 2 parts, that is analysis phase and synthesis phase. Analysis phase with combination of the 3 phases, the first 3 phases, whereas synthesis phase combination of the last 3 phases. This is called as the analysis synthesis model of compilation. Now there are some other tools also that use the analysis synthesis model. The first one is editors like syntax highlighting, then pretty printers, example is Doxygen, then static checkers, for example, lint and splint, then interpreters, then text formatters like text and latex tools, then silicon compilers. This is related to electronic circuit design. So Verilog hardware description language, VHDL. Then query interpreter or compilers, that is database related. These are the other tools that use the analysis and synthesis model of compiler. So then, in addition to compiler, we have some other components of the compiler. Those we will call it as neighbors of the compiler or cousins of the compiler. What are the cousins of the compiler? If you can take our human relation, so cousins means like father side, mother side. So we may call it as even siblings also like. For compiler also alone, it won't execute it. So some cousins are required, some dependent components are required. So in general term, we will call it as cousins of compiler. What it contains, what are the cousins? First one is preprocessor, then the second one is compiler, then third one is assembler, then the last one is linker. So here you can see diagrammatically the relationship among all the cousins of the compiler is shown in the following figure. First, the component is preprocessor, second one is compiler, third one is assembler, fourth one is a linker. So the same order needs to be maintained. So what is the role of preprocessor, which takes skeletal source program? Skeletal means just template which can be hidden, data abstraction, full implementation not shown. So that skeletal source program, by using preprocessor, that can be converted into normal exact source program, which is ready to use. Then compiler takes the ready to use source program that can be translated into target program. Here directly it won't translate into machine language, that can be translated into assembly language. Then that assembly language can be converted into machine level language by using assembler. There is the another one. So assembler, what is the role of assembler, which takes assembly program as the input and translate it into machine level language. Directly it won't produce machine level language. First it produce relocatable object code. By using linker component, the relocatable object code can be linked to absolute machine code. Here it uses some libraries and relocatable object files. So these are all the cousins of the compiler, various other dependent components. So then finally, after all these introductory, so here you have to raise one question: why you have to study this compiler design or compilation technology? So here you can see by success stories, the first impact, one of the earliest branches in computer science, applying theory to practice, that is scanning, parsing, static analysis. Whereas many practical applications have embedded languages, example, tags. Then practical algorithmic and engineering issues, that is the second impact, approximating really hard and interesting problems. Emphasis on efficiency and scalability, then small issues can be important here. Then the third impact, ideas from different parts of computer science are involved. So one of the emerging area nowadays we are seeing every day, artificial intelligence. So in these various techniques are used, that is search technique, heuristic search technique, then some algorithms, greedy algorithms, then graph algorithms, then some theory concepts, pattern matching, then also systems architecture. These are all the concepts of AI. So all these areas, the concept of compilation is used, compilation technology. Then compiler construction can be challenging and fun. So new architectures always create new challenges. Success requires mastery of complex interactions. Results are useful. Opportunity to achieve performance. So these are all the various sources use the importance of studying compilation technology. Then what are the uses of compiler technology? We already mentioned some applications like phase-wise. Here are also some common applications. Most common use is translate a high-level program to object code, program translation, binary translation, hardware synthesis, etc. Then optimizations for computer architectures, which improves the program performance, which takes into account hardware parallelism, etc. Then automatic parallelization over vectorization. Then performance instrumentation like PZ options of CC or GCC in Linux environment. These are the compilation commands for C language. Then interpreters like Python, Ruby, Perl, MATLAB, SH, etc. Then software productivity tools like debugging aids, example Purify. Then security related tools like Java Virtual Machine, which uses compiler analysis to prove safety of Java code. Then text formatters like just-in-time compilation for Java, power management, global distributed computing. Finally, the key of compiler technology is ability to extract properties of a source program, that is analysis phase, and transforms it to construct a target program, that is synthesis phase. Analysis phase, which consisting of the first three phases, then the synthesis phase, which consisting of the last three pages. So then some other applications of compiler technology and some tools also. Processing XML, extensive markup language, and other to generate documents, code, etc. Processing domain-specific and device-specific languages. Then implementing a server that uses a protocol such as HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or IMAP, that is for Google Maps. The natural language processing, for example, spam filter, search document comprehension, summary generation. Then translating from a hardware description language like VHDL to the schematic of a circuit. Then automatic graph layout like GraphViz is one of the example. Extending an existing programming language with further extension. Program analysis and improvement tools. These are all the some of the applications of compiler technology along with tools. So then other applications, this we already covered phase wise. So then finally move to the summary of this lecture, what we covered till now. So first, the important term in this lecture is compiler. So compiler is a program that converts some input text in a source language to output in a target language. Compiler construction poses some of the most challenging problems in computer science. So here the concepts what we covered, we can refer from the prescribed books. Here AHO 2 means the first prescribed book, second edition, section 1.1, 1.5. Then in first edition 1.1. Then Cooper is other book 1.1 to 1.3. Then Gruen 1.1, 1.5. These are the references. So you can follow our prescribed main book AHO 2. That's enough. If you want any additional information further, you can refer these also. Next lecture, we will discuss with other concepts related to compiler design. We'll start with the structure of a typical compiler. That means various phases of compiler with phase-wise explanation followed by example. We'll discuss in next lecture. That is one of the important concepts, phases of compiler or structure of compiler. Okay, now I stop here.